Charles Wilhelm has become known as one of the country's top trainers for both horses and people. His approach to training focuses on educating the horse owner alongside their equine partners so they can form a strong bond and achieve an amazing partnership.
Well, welcome back. This is Derby. He's actually a horse that belongs to SonRise in their therapeutic program. I mentioned earlier he was kind of rescued. He was given away. He didn't know anything. We got him under saddle and taught him manners, and he was kind of spoiled. The reason I brought him out because the SonRise programs actually has 2 minis, and he's actually considered a Shetland. And these minis and Shetlands get a bad rap. Oh, that's a pony. They get a bad rap because the big people, adults, don't treat them like a horse. They are a horse, just small. When you get tired of them walking on your feet, you may change your mind. But anyway, we teach them just like any other horse. We teach them ground manners. In fact, while I'm doing this, the other day they were using him in the program, and they had a rider on the horse, on him, and they had to walk over hula hoop. And when it walked through, the back feet kicked the back of the hula hoop up and kicked it up around the front legs. So it went up by his belly. And then it came back down, and he didn't do anything. And then did it again. So it happened probably about 3 different times, if I remember the story correctly. The point that I'm bringing it up, that's why we do all the sacking out. But tolerant level is very, very important. You know, just like giving lessons, when you're learning and the kids in therapy, you know, they're all over the place. They're rocking around, they're leaning back, and they're bumping in and over the front of them. And they're bumping it with their legs, and their hands all over the place.
Airplane arms.
They're playing airplane arms. You know, that's a major deal. And these are the kind of things that we do. And finally, we'll get Jamie on there, and as the pretend kid, and she starts doing all that, and before we get a kid on there to do that. But it takes a couple of months to kind of go through that, just because they do. And something else that should be brought up, and I talk about it in my training program with my clients. Just because we sacked them out once with a tarp and they're happy with it, you need to do it again. We actually have a very large checklist that we go through with these therapy horses, and from how they handle their legs, how comfortable they are handling around their legs. Because when people come off the streets, you can have a little 6-year-old or an 8-year-old or even a 10-year-old come running up and grabbing a leg on a horse. And a horse has to be able to tolerate that. So part of this checklist is how they accept pressure with different objects. And part of it is leading, how well they lead. If you have a horse that you have to drag along, that becomes a safety issue because that means you have no control. At the same time, what we found that we can't have them too light, because when you have walkers on each side, you have to go slow, and if the horse is walking a little bit too fast, they end up bending their neck. So we have to be careful. We want them responsive, so we have control. We need them quiet around the sides, but we don't want them so dead. So there's a whole list. They make sure they can handle tarps. They make sure that they can handle tarps and baggies around their legs, all kinds of different things, and grooming, and being poked on, and noises and bicycles, and there's all kinds of things that going on, and there's a whole checklist. So we just started using another horse, Smokey, and he was here 2 months before we started using him, because it took that long to go through to see if he was a candidate for it. And a lot of it is personality, and we talked about it earlier, but I think it's really worth pressing. The personality is that he has to be a real compliant horse.
One of the other things that we do that seems to be really helpful and important for our horses is chiropractic care. And we have a chiropractor that comes every 6 to 7 weeks and checks all of our horses. And It's especially important when we bring a new horse into the program. We just want to make sure that they're comfortable. We have a lot of unbalanced riders, and what the chiropractor has told us is that when there's a rider who's unbalanced, it causes the horse to maybe get out of adjustment more often. And so she checks all of those things and just ensures that our horses are comfortable for the participants.
You know, if I could just add to that, that uncomfortability could add behavior problems, because what the horse is doing is that horse is compensating to carry that rider, so they could be out of adjustment. I got clients here that tell me, you need to go to chiropractor. I can see, because I'm holding myself in a way of protecting myself. And so if you get a rider with a horse that's similar to that and is packing weight, it just makes them a little cranky, and that reflects behavior. You know, swishy tail, ears going back, a hardened eye, and that can, in return, could go to something even bigger like bucking, you know, just trying to get away.
We hope you've enjoyed watching Charles Wilhelm's Ultimate Foundation Horsemanship. Remember, to find out more about Charles and to see how you can get the most out of your relationship with your horse, visit Charles online at charleswilhelm.com.